Yo, what is up, Crockxen clan members and others who come on this video? I'm SoresanCrockxen here. What's up? This is the first of two videos about this topic. As you can see, I'm not in my room. Well, my room. Okay, this is obviously this is my new room temporarily. I am currently in the States. I'm in Arizona. I am alive, as you can clearly tell. I got here 2-3 days ago. Yeah, technically, because I got here like 3 in the morning local time, so on Monday. So technically speaking, it's been about 3 days. And things were bad on the island. Obviously, I've been gone for like a month. At this point, I think it is officially a month. Yeah, a little bit over a month since I've been gone. I did post on Twitter when I got here that I was okay. Well, later on when I woke up because I was really tired, I posted on Twitter that I was okay, that I would be making this video, 2 videos. This one explaining what happened and the other one showing what the aftermath in my place was because of Hurricane Maria, which did hit us. I'm assuming a lot of you, if you live in the States, you heard the news, or you saw the news, or you saw it was bad. Okay, I'm not gonna joke around. It was terrible. Before I left, my house, well, my town, was still struggling. The water kept coming and going. It wasn't stable. We had power in like one street at all, and that wasn't even stable. Like we had power one day, but I wasn't home because I was at work, and it didn't even last half an hour because our mayor got greedy and blew up the system. It was a mess. Okay, but to give you guys my personal experience during that entire month, I'm going to give you guys kind of like a summary of what happened for me, like mental state, emotional state, and how I was during that whole month. And then tomorrow or fucking Friday, I don't have a specific day for the second video, I will actually like give you guys a rundown of my house, and I have pictures of the aftermath of the storm. So the storm hit us on Wednesday, September 20th, officially. But what people don't know is that from Tuesday afternoon, we actually got the initial part. The weird thing about Hurricane Maria is it was scheduled to come in on Wednesday, September 20th, nighttime, and it sped up during that time. I think it was around Monday when the initial forecast was set for Wednesday night, but it sped up and then it slowed down as soon as it hit the island. We were being hit since the 19th around, I want to say, we lost power in my house around 1 p.m. Eastern, and the initial part of the storm hit the island around 3 in the afternoon, and it lasted until late at night on Wednesday. It was literally almost an entire day of the storm passing through the island. I'm going to show you guys a screenshot right now of the island, just like on the satellite map. And here, right here, the storm hit. I actually don't know what part it entered because the grid was shown all over the place of where it could have come in, but I wasn't fully aware of where it entered. But I know that when it got to around this general area, the eye of the storm split into 2, which obviously made the impact became greater. So on my side, I live around the southwest of the island, and it was a nightmare. We didn't get the initial part until later in the evening of the 19th. Like it was around like 7 or 8 p.m. when we actually started feeling rainfall and stuff like that. I couldn't sleep that night. I literally, I tried, but by the time I woke up, we had no power. Still, the water was gone. My dad tried to do some convoluted shenanigans with the internet. We have one of those. I'm gonna try to see if I can find a picture, put it right here. It's basically like a jump start for your car, but it has like a bunch of different outlets to do a lot of things. It has things for the air, the tires, the air pressure. It has a flashlight, and then you can plug in stuff to charge your phone and all that stuff. And we have this thing which you plug in to your car, and then you use like a regular. It's basically like a small outlet, and you just connect your stuff to it. And he plugged in the internet for a little bit, but then the cable snapped because a branch actually knocked down our cables. The electricity cable was knocked down. The phone line was down, which automatically means that the internet line is going to go down. And we were trying to use that as a temporary solution until the line snapped, which it eventually did. Very early in the morning, but it was not fun. The entire day was just me on the couch looking out, and just obviously we had the windows closed, but I could hear the winds, and then I would hear noises on the roof, and then all around us, bamboos that are across the street fell onto the road. My dad was freaking crazy because he was like, "Oh, I don't want to sit inside. I'm bored and it's hot." And he literally walked outside, and I was just staring at him because I didn't want to go out there. And he, the bamboo was in the middle of the road, and him and the neighbor, went out and started chopping stuff down with machetes and stuff. And I'm like, I don't want to go out there. You need to be in here. Like I was freaking out because I didn't know what was gonna happen. The storm is still going on, and he's outside, and it was not a fun experience. That whole day was literally a nightmare. And then we couldn't get out of the house. There was no way to get out of the house. We could not get out of the house. There was no communication. My phone had no signal for 3.5 weeks. One day I had phone service one day, and it wasn't even my service. I was literally stealing signal from a company, and it was one day. I called my mom, I called my sisters to see if they were okay, but I had no data. I couldn't use my data, so I couldn't talk to you guys. But I called them, and then that was it. I didn't have signal ever again. I mean, I did. When I was passing by this one town, because after that day, I only had my signal, right, the one that worked, in one town, and I only went by there when I was going to work and coming back. And the other thing about my work, because you're probably saying, "Oh, well, you were working, so it's all fine." No, it's not. It was not fun. It was not fun. I didn't hear anything about my bosses. It was one day that I got lucky, and I was able to pull through, and I was able to talk to my boss's boss, because that's the only person I was able to reach. And he told me there was going to be a meeting. I called them on a Sunday. No, that's a lie. When did I call them? I think it was a Wednesday. And they told me that there was going to be a meeting on Monday. And I'm like, okay, cool. But it was going to be not in the building. My building was closed, and it's technically open now, but it's not really fully operational, even though the head honcho was like, "Oh yeah, we're doing great." No, we're not. Shut up. I really wanted to. He's my boss. Well, he's everybody's boss because he's like the top dog of the office. But like the service is not stable, and he's like, "Oh, we're doing amazing," and blah blah blah. It's not. Just stop lying to us. We know what's going on. We're not stupid. But I was able to contact my boss's boss, and he told me that. And then my boss, right, my direct manager, sent us a message that Friday. So if it was Wednesday, I was planning to go to work on Monday. It was in a hotel. My boss told us on Thursday that the next day, which was Friday, we needed to go to the hotel to have a meeting for our team. And it was like normally that hotel is way closer to my house than my work building is, where my office is at. It's way closer. It's about at least 20 something minutes closer, than on average. But no, I still took an hour and 15 minutes to get to this place. That is not how long I should be taking to get there. There's just no reason for that. And I got there that day. We started talking and blah blah blah. And on Monday, we were scheduled. So we made a plan. We're like, okay, so this is temporary. Obviously, boss, the head honcho was talking, thanking everybody for coming. This was before, at this point, he's like, this is when he was like, shit's real. Like, we need to try to get as many people out of the country as possible. Like, that was his mindset then, which was legit and obvious. It was a good idea because the entire country is still fucked. It's been over a month and nothing. I mean, things have progressed a little bit, but it's still a shit show. Most of the island is still without power. The grid is down. Water is not stable. There's a lot of controversies around. My mayor is a dumbass. I just want to state that right now. I'll give you guys more of a detail of that on the other video because it will show you. I'll explain what happened because we had a lot of trash of branches and trees and crap in the front yard. Because anyways, I'll talk more about that in the other video. So my boss was like, oh, okay, so we need to, or not. The boss was trying to talk about people like leaving the island to go to the mainland to work from there while things get normalized over here. So he obviously knew shit was, shit hit the fan and things were not, good. So he was thinking somewhat rationally. So we divided our efforts to try to get as many people off the mainland, and then we had three buildings in Puerto Rico. So we had the hotel we were at. There was a place in the capital. There was some other office building which belonged to somebody else, and they were giving us some space, but it was limited. Or come to the mainland. Those were our three options. On Monday, it took me 3 hours to get to the hotel. 3 fucking hours. And I told my boss, because he was there, I'm like, I can't do this every day. Wait, no, it wasn't on Monday. It was Tuesday. Monday, what the hell? No, Monday it took me like an hour or something. But on Tuesday, that's when shit hit was awful. Because it took me 3 hours to get to work. And I told my boss, if this happens again, I'm not coming back. I cannot waste 3 hours of my day to come here and then waste 3 hours back. Because it still took, even though it took me an hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes the first 2 times to get there, it took me almost 2 hours to get back. That is wasting way too much of my time just on the road. I don't like to waste my time like that. And today, it took me 3 hours to get here. There's just no fucking way. And then that's when he was like, okay, no, listen, it's fine. We found another place that's closer to you. And it's 10. I was like, oh, well, that's great. Because normally, when I would take time to get where I was going to go, it's another hotel, but it's closer. It's usually like a 35 minute drive. I'm like, oh, that's wonderful. Every day to get to that one hotel took me an hour. Why the fuck does it take me an hour to get to these places? It's just ridiculous. I hated my time there. Thankfully, I was able to contact my mother using my coworker's phone, and she got me a plane ticket to come here, and I got here, and I'm here now, and it's for an indefinite period of time. I'm not going back until things normalize because I'm not dealing with that traffic. The boss right now is like, oh, this is great, but if it's gonna take me 4 hours to get to my main office building, I'm not gonna do it. I will not waste almost 8 hours of my day on the fucking road just because you want me to go to the office building. There's no fucking way I'm gonna do that. Awful. And the reason why I'm here, right? Why I came here, they technically were offering us to take us to our client, where our clients are. So in my case, my client is in Connecticut, and blah blah. But the thing is, right? It sounds like a sweet deal. The company is paying for your trip. Not really, because what ends up happening was normally for my work, what happens if a client wants, employees to go there to where they're at, to where their offices are, or where their factories are, whatever the hell. They pay for everything. The client pays for the flight, it pays for your rental car, it pays for your food, and it pays for your hotel. Bitch, that wasn't happening this time, because what ended up happening is my company was like, no, this is all our fault, everything's going on wrong over here, we're paying for the trip. But that's it. They're only paying your flight ticket. They're not paying your housing, they're not paying your car, and they're not paying your food, which means that comes out of your pocket. And if I want to do things out of my pocket, I might as well go to my mom's house, right, here in Arizona, where I have a place to stay, right, without having to pay anything. For food, I can help with groceries, and I can cook my own food here. I can, and for a car, I can borrow my mom's truck. That sounds like a million times better than, we'll pay for your plane ticket. Bitch, I saw beyond that, and I'm like, no, hell no. So I'm here for an indefinite period of time. I will be going back when things normalize, sometimes in fucking 2018, because the last news article I read, newspaper, because it was a newspaper, not news article. The last newspaper I saw the day before I came here, literally said, we expect sometime, not a specific date, sometime in 2018, half of the country will have power. Bitch, what? I'm done. I'm done. I got super pissed. The government is a conspiracy. I fucking hate my governor. Is a moron. He is selfish. He's an idiot. Most of the mayors are greedy as fuck. I hate my mayor, and like I said, I will go into more detail about him and all the controversies that happened with him in my other video, because everything was a fucking mess. I'm gonna be straight up with you. It was a nightmare. It was a hell. It was literally like living in hell. We went back at least half a century in terms of what a country is supposed to be like in 2017. It was not fun. A lot of stressful days. And it was kind of depressing. I always brag about how beautiful my island is. And my island is beautiful. But right now, we were stripped of everything. There was so much green. I got used to seeing so much green. Because my island is tropical paradise. And now there's only red. Because the stupid storm burned all the trees. You'll see it in the pictures tomorrow, but as many of you know, I have my house is a part farm. We have crops. We lost everything. Our entire crop plantation, everything, our plantation was just gone. Not a single thing survived. That's not something you want to look at when you wake up. Couldn't drive anywhere. Gas lines were atrocious. You would stand in line for 8 to 9 hours just to get $10 worth of gas because it was limited. You had people closing down gas stations because, this is only for the people who work for the government. And you're just like, okay, so what about us? What about the common folk that need gas to do things? Our mayor confiscated an entire gas station and said all the diesel in this place is for us and for us only. I didn't have a generator. I knew people that had generators. They needed diesel to turn on their generators. The mayor said no. It was a nightmare. I'm being serious. I would not wish this on anybody. And the media didn't help because, like I said, my governor is an idiot. And when Trump went, He was like, oh, it's 13 people. What the fuck is that? Oh, blah, blah, blah. You guys don't understand. They don't know the story. So I'm going to tell you guys before I leave one last thing. So that you guys can get a slight picture of how devastating this was. There's hospitals that have floors closed down because the morgue is overflowing with dead people that they have not been able to identify. There is over almost 1,000 people missing right now who you can bet are dead. There was a news report of an autistic 40-year-old man who accidentally got out of his house during the storm and they could not find him. He is more than likely dead. There's houses in the middle of nowhere that have elderly people who are likely dead because nobody can get to them or nobody knows they're there. There's also people that, because the power is out, cannot get medical treatment for their diabetes, for their cancer, for dialysis. Those people have died. And they are not being counted in the death toll because my governor is a moron. We have lost so many people because of this storm, and they're not being counted because, oh, the hurricane deaths only count if you got hit by a tree or the power line hit you or something happened to you because the storm winds or whatever the fuck, the flooding, and then you drown. None of that is being, that's his only qualification for this stupid death toll. When there's thousands of people that have died because of the stupid storm knocking out the power grid. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating to be there and listen to all these people. And then I would hear of stories of American citizens here in the mainland U.S. talk down about us because it wasn't as bad as other incidents when they don't know the real story. I was offended. There was somebody that was shown off in one of the news reports that said that they should leave those Mexicans alone in Puerto Rico. I don't know where the fuck you think Puerto Rico is, but you are a moron if you think we're Mexicans. Just because I speak Spanish does not mean I'm a Mexican. And just for your information, we are U.S. citizens as much as you are. And another thing, because this one really pissed me off. People saying that we don't deserve help, that the U.S. government should only worry about Florida and Texas, and that's fine. Okay, I understand that you're looking out for, but we are also U.S. citizens, right? And a lot of them are saying, why don't they get help from somewhere else? It's because of your government that we are in a fucked up situation. For those of you guys who don't know about history, right, and how the economy of my country works, and how the whole Commonwealth, being a U.S. territory, works for us, and the reason why I say we're fucked up because of your government, we have been told that the Dominican Republic and other, I think Colombia was one of them. There's a couple other islands as well around the Caribbean that have said specifically that they have aid prepared for us. But you know what the problem is? Because of how our system is set up with the U.S., we cannot receive any imports from anywhere besides the United States. We are not authorized to receive imports from anywhere besides the United States. You know how that makes us feel? We are literally trapped because we're not receiving as much help as we need, and on top of that, we have people who are ignorant and don't understand the situation we're in, and they start spouting all this nonsense like they know anything. I wish we could accept help from other countries. I wish that we could just open all our harbors to whatever aid we can receive, but we're not allowed to. We asked permission to open the harbor to receive help from all these other countries, and we were denied. We were told no because we're only allowed to receive stuff from U.S. military marked ships. So before you start spouting your nonsense like you're a know-it-all, actually do some research because you're not helping anybody. Sorry about that rant, guys, but you need to understand where we're not in the best position. We are in a vulnerable state. As a country, we have been emotionally tested and financially tested, and we don't need any stupid bullshit right now. I don't care that you want Florida and Texas to be helped. I don't care. Do it. But we also need help. Either you help us the same amount as those two places who were also damaged, or you let us receive help from other countries. And then you shut the fuck up. Because when you don't know anything and you spout all this nonsense, you're not thinking of us as human beings. You're not thinking of us as U.S. citizens. You're thinking of us as another third world country that you feel like you're obligated to help, but you don't want to help. Because that's not what we are. Anyways, that's going to be it for this video. I'll try to record the other one as soon as I can with all the stuff that happened to my country. Or not my country, my house. And we'll go from there. See you guys later.